an audience enters a live theatre, they're giving the showmaker permission to deceive them. Sometimes it's hard to see just how deep that deception goes. It is the role of a prop maker to make objects that appear as something they're not. These panes are not real glass. These ornaments are not gold-plated. And this is not an ordinary cabinet.
An ordinary cabinet nowadays is designed to be affordable and suitable for mass manufacture.
The hand-cut dovetails on these drawers suggest a much slower manufacturing process.
I say this not as a judgment, but as an example of the natural progression of how we make things and what we deem valuable. If I paraphrase American furniture maker Peter Korn, he states Western society's industrial revolution solidified the ideas of Cartesian dualism, the separation of mental and physical, mind and body. Classification of fine art therefore went to the mind. Craft and trade was assigned to the body. We still see this model in theatre. The designer often does this conceptual, mental work and hires a tradesman to carry out the physical tasks. It wasn't until the mid to late 19th century when a counter-movement to mechanization championed for the tradesman to regain control of the design and manufacture process. They proposed in this way that creating was an act of using both mind and body. This was the arts and crafts movement.
A key term they used was applied arts. This encompassed the art of design applied to otherwise utilitarian objects in order to make them more aesthetically and spiritually pleasing. The processes always existed. They include ancient arts like tapestry, mosaic, and glassware, and arguably, prop work belongs in there too.
For example, stained glass can be considered an applied art. But to avoid putting fragile glass on stage, I've pulled apart the window frames and refitted them with a sheet of acrylic, which is less likely to shatter. The cabinet's original windows had lead framing called calms, a specialized process that I could bypass with laser cutting.
Additionally is the matter of these gold ornaments.
These are based off ormolu mounts, used heavily in French furniture around the reign of Louis XV. In order to protect the edges of timber furniture, the form was sculpted in wax, then replicated in bronze, and then gilt, in which a mixture of mercury and gold was painted over the dull bronze and fired, burning off the mercury and leaving behind a plating of gold. This gave the appearance of solid gold casts, where, in reality, it was just bronze underneath, and much stronger for it. I've taken it a step further into the realm of utility, saving time by using modern polyurethane resins instead of bronze, and silicon instead of lost wax plaster, a time-consuming process. It should be evident by now. Traditional craft values time, art values aesthetics, but of course the real world values efficiency. When tasked with making 100 props for a show, it's common practice to purchase some objects cheaply from Kmart or op shops and alter them to suit the show's needs. In this way, access to the mass-manufactured goods from the shops gives us a head start on the final object.
The adapting of traditional craft processes to suit a contemporary practice is essential to the prop maker. We can't afford to make everything from beginning to end. This cabinet was made before my time, before my grandparents' time. It was advertised cheap and dusty on Gumtree. The drawers have a musty oak smell, and the varnish is darkened with a century of heat. This cabinet lived a life before me. I found a receipt, placing it in 20th century England. I thought it would be a shame to cut into a piece that had lived such a long life, with well-worn feet and hand-polished shellac. But it would be an even bigger shame to watch it gather more dust. It is an adapted, applied art to bring an unwanted antique back to life.